Welcome to Free Range with Gail of Gaia. Today's program, Gail welcomes Dr. Charlie Rouse. And they're going to be talking about the absence of nutrition in today's food. And they're also going to be talking about a quality line of products, whole food supplements, that you can use to supplement your diet.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas. And one of the things that I've started doing recently is carrying products that I believe will be extremely helpful for you to maintain your health and wellness. And that's a very important concern nowadays with everything that's going on. And first and foremost, I'd like to introduce Dr. Rouse, Dr. Charles Rouse. He's in the house, and he's the local doctor, naturopath, and so on. You can tell us about your background, Dr. Rouse. You are the formulator for this wonderful product. And I have to tell you, I've done some research on the different substances that are in the product, and I am more impressed now than I was before. So thank you. And introduce yourself and tell us about your background and so on.
Hey, Gail, and thank you. Thank you for letting me be on your podcast, on your broadcast. And my name is Dr. Charlie Rouse. I'm a Georgia boy. I graduated from the University of Georgia School of Pharmacy. And in that endeavor, I was actually taught natural medicine as well as prescription drugs. And for 25 years, I owned an independent pharmacy. All we had was just pharmaceutical drugs. And one day I had an epiphany. I woke up. I realized that, wow, there's a whole lot more to the natural world of medicine. I mean, extensive research, powerful herbal interventions. And I started looking, studying, wondering if I could enter into that field of natural medicine. So, advancing my education, adding to my pharmacy degree, I learned very quickly that, yes, that was the route to go. I feel like the Lord led me in that direction. I feel like the steps of my life have been orchestrated for a purpose, and that is to formulate condition-specific nutrition. And, you know, look at all the different conditions. I mean, everything from...
Oh, my gosh, yes.
To the who knows what.
Well, you know what? I said many years ago... it's funny that you said that, because it just reminded me many years ago when I was working in hospital nutrition as a nutritionist, I did a study on all the different products. And I said, as time goes on, we're going to have more disease-specific products.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's happening. And I have the same or similar background in that I was a nutritionist, registered dietitian at one time, and was trained very traditionally, but have since that time moved out of that into a more alternative and natural field as a result. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up, it's wonderful that you have that. Pharmacists have that very a lot of chemistry background, which is really an important part in putting together products like this. So you definitely have the product, you know, the background for that, the chemistry. Nutritionists add quite a bit of chemistry as well, but not nearly as much, I don't think, as a pharmacist would. And it's delightful to me that you have moved from the traditional prescription into the natural, because that's where it's really at. I think Mother Earth has done a wonderful job in providing us with plants and substances that will heal our bodies naturally. So let's talk about some of the ingredients in the product. I have myself can say that I've taken the products now, and I'm very impressed. I feel more alert. I feel more energetic, and I take longevity and lift. And then at night, if I can't wind down, I do take the Tranquility. So I think it's the perfect 3 combination there. But let's start with lift. Okay, and
yeah.
here, I'll show you the product. That's This product is called Lift. It does have a substance known as T-crin in it, and I wonder if you could address that and tell us exactly what that is.
Well, even as I sit here, Gail, I'm drinking tea. And I think that tea has been around for more decades than people could ever imagine. And tea is a very good, healthy thing. From tea, green tea, long tea to black tea. But whenever we came across this patented formula, it was a trademark.
Yes.
Was a tea preparation that's very popular in Asia.
Oh.
And people love it for mood enhancement. It's like it's a motivator. When you drink the T-crin, the body just automatically gets the neurotransmitters, the dopamine, the serotonin, all that stuff just comes right into focus. And the opportunity is overwhelmingly superior to anything that I've ever seen pharmaceutically or nutritionally, because it gives you a motivation. I mean, it's a clean, pure motivation. Like
it's not jittery either. That's what I really like about it.
Hey, I'm going to go on a diet. Well, they're motivated to do it. Or, hey, I'm going to take a walk. They're motivated to do it. But T-crin became very popular, trademark. T-crin, T-E-A-C-R-I-N, became very, very popular in the gymnasiums where the muscle men and the workout guys and those that were on the spins and those things that were doing the walks. And they loved it because it was giving them sustained energy for 6 to 7 to 8 hours. Can't get that out of caffeine, can't get that out of a Monster, can't get that out of a Bang. It was a true way to sustain the energy. And so T-crin was our choice. It's a very bitter herb, so we have to put it in encapsulation form just so you don't taste it to the tongue. But in the Lift, we were able to find the right milligrams. Yes, the trademark company is allowing us to use their patented formula straight out of research. And then Dr. Charlie comes along. And Gail, I realized that in pharmacy, that energy is something unique to the human body, but the brain requires 40% of all the human energy. And if you don't service the brain, then the rest of the body's going to get disheveled and left out. And there's a lot of energy drinks with just like caffeine derivatives, methylxanthine, that might get them up. But then we have the difficulty with the pulse and the heart and the blood pressure. So we were looking for the first of the world market to give sustained energy, be the motivator behind the product. So when you take the product, it not only gives you energy, it gives you motivation to do something with the energy. And for that, Gail, I used a unique good fat called GPC, alpha GPC. And that came out of the studies where they were looking at professional football players that had concussions. And they were wondering, is there any nutrition that was condition specific that would heal a brain that had been concussion, like in an automobile accident.
Inflammation, yeah.
Yeah. And GPC is the number one nutrition in the world market for brain injury. But we put it in our product because it's a superior good fat that makes your memory capacity, your concentration, your ability to remember come to focus. So now we got everything you need to feed the brain. And then
nootropics. I noticed that about the product.
The energy. So in my own humble personal opinion, we have the world's best Lift. And Lift is the name because
I like that. Yeah, the name is perfect because it does give you a lift.
It lifts you physically. It puts you in the game.
Yes, and it's like it lifts your brain up. I really feel that. And the I'm not sure I'm saying this correct, but Bacanize is another patented.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I love that. That's another patented trademark, bacognize.
Baconize.
Or
Thank you.
baconize. I'll go either way because, whenever you try to say a word, it's almost like however you want to say it. That's hyssop. That's out of the hyssop family. And bacognize or baconize, however we want to say it, bacopa, is the power in the nutrition for making that brain signal, the electrical signals, connect and to work with one another. So think of lift as a memory enhancer, and think of lift as a positive motivator, and think of lift as an energizer. So it's got a lot of benefits. And we give
does.
it to
And you know what? I can back you up on exactly what you're saying because I have had that experience with it. I really have. I have seen improvements in my memory and my focus, and I've used some other things, but I feel like it took me up another level. And I know that the Baconize, if I say that correctly again, it deals with brain inflammation. So just the idea that we're turning on neuroreceptors with some of these products and making them more receptive to the neurotransmitters is very big. And
it is. We borrowed from Russian science with rhodiola, the Arctic
oh,
root.
yes. Yes.
Russians have won so many Olympics, and people say, where do you get your endurance? Where do you get your stamina? And they said, rhodiola. It's an adaptogenic. So when your body burns too much, it replenishes. And if your body has too little, it puts it back. So that was a good herb to put in there.
That is an excellent herb. And it's funny because many of the things that you have in this product, I have in individual supplements. Okay. Like I have the tyrosine. And I have the Rhodelia, and I have, well, I didn't have the T-Crim. That's a new one, but the Bacopa, I've had that too. But anyway, and it's beautiful the way you have combined these all because it is a nootropic, and it's why you will feel an increase in your cognition. And I definitely say that's there. And I think the other thing that's really important, and we'll get to that with the other products, is that there is, with the longevity, we have a detox element that's going on. Because I think one of the reasons why many people have problems with their brain in terms of cognition over, aging decline or through the use of many of the jabs that leave heavy metal residue in the brain. These products, I believe, are a means to be able to help reduce that or help get the body to be able to get it out. Would you agree?
You are right on target, Gail. Good observation. And thanks for letting your listening audience know that. Detox is everything. Everything.
It is. And I tell people that every day. So let's talk about longevity. I say, you should detox on a daily basis. We are on a daily basis exposed to toxins, and many of them are very, very unhealthy. And so to have a product out there that helps support your body's ability to detox is really important. And we can start with the longevity on that. The lift, I think we've covered most of it, and it's a great product. I love it. I take it every day. And now I've onto longevity, which is actually the foundational product, I think. And let's start with the methionine, the sulfur-containing amino acid, which is beneficial for your skin, hair, and nails, which is also it's combined with selenium. And which
Gail, the methionine came into play because so many people are toxic with homocysteine and
yes,
their chemistries that affect their folic acid, and they miss so much of the sulfur side of detox. The body is designed. The body is very, very special, and the cells themselves require that methionine molecule in order to function and in order to clean up and make things spiffy. And you won't find methionine in many products, but I've used it for decades because it's anti-inflammatory as well as perfectly clean and simple
Doesn't it support
Nobody's
the
allergic
thyroid
to
as
it.
well?
Everybody, absolutely. And when we looked at this wholesome product, Monocera longevity, we were looking at the immune system.
Yes, very important.
And look where we've been in the last year and a half. We've actually, for the first time, Gail, got a lot of people that are absolutely convinced that their immune system is very important.
Finally, yes. I always will love the pros. Let's boost the immune system. Why are we just dealing with killing microbes, or slaying something else? Why not boost up what works best in our body, which is our immune system? I saw this one picture where somebody said, I had this t-shirt, immune system on. And didn't need any of the other things because, well, a way to boost your immune system is certainly with longevity. And let's cover some of the other products in longevity. And one of them is vitamin D3 and a decent amount of it. And they've already shown the issues that people have when their vitamin D level is low. And most of us don't get outside enough.
People will say, Gail, how much is too much? And pharmaceutically, as a pharmacist who looks at D3, 35 units for every 1 pound of body weight is okay. So you're not going to overdo. You're not going to be toxic because of vitamin D3. Now, vitamin D2, I don't think much of that.
Right.
As a pharmacist, I think that's a no-no.
Exactly. I'd agree as a nutritionist, 100%. And I think
it controls everything in the immune system. Yeah.
Everything. And it's been directly correlated with low levels causing the pandemic thing that's supposedly going around. So I'm trying to be careful with what I say. But anyway, the vitamin D3, I feel like the levels that were originally recommended by the dietary intake and RDAs and so on was woefully low. And most people don't get outside enough to get the natural form of vitamin D3, and myself included in that at times. But anyway, so that's a beautiful addition to this supplement that everybody needs. And then we can take it a step further because you have added a product that is milk thistle, which is wonderful liver support. And once again, our liver is the one that's bombarded with all the toxins, correct?
The liver does most of the work, phase 1, phase 2 detox. And if you look on that label, Gail, it's Silifos, which was a patented trademark research milk thistle. We spend a lot of money, a lot of time going to the experts who had already done millions of dollars worth of research. And now we're able to put millions of dollars of research in a very beautiful product. We call it Monocera Longevity. And milk thistle is in there because the liver is going to produce the glutathione, and the liver is going to get rid of all the gunk, all the stuff that doesn't belong.
Yes, and I tell you what, our liver has been overtaxed for years, and any way we can support it is wonderful. And the ability to support it through the addition of glutathione support is absolutely critical as well. And I looked at that, and I looked that up as well, and I said, wow, this is such a great product because of that. Our body really needs that glutathione to help us detox because we're constantly exposed, as I mentioned. Then there was another patented product that you have in there that is called Centramin. Is that how you pronounce that?
I love it. Centramin.
And
deep down in the earth, where the flowers used to be, the plants, that organic vegetation provides the mineral resources, and those 80 minerals come in nano size, perfectly structured, all 80 minerals in the right order, and it's just like a perfection of nutrition. And everything electrical and the body runs off of minerals. So when
Exactly.
when you take Centramin, you get the necessary zinc, copper, selenium, boron, manganese, magnesium, potassium. The list goes on, and it's all sufficient with everything you need in one nutrition. Centramin. It's a patented trademark, another $1 million worth of research, and we borrowed the $1 million and put it in our product.
And the beauty of it is that those minerals come from plants. They're not, mined and unnatural, and you can't take a magnet like in the bottom of a cereal box and find the iron in there, which people have done in the past, which I used to laugh at, but actually, so it's an excellent source of natural minerals. And the beauty of the minerals, as I see it, is it helps the body remain alkaline as much as possible, because alkalinity seems to be very important these days too.
Yeah, without alkalinity, people are acidic, and everybody who's acidic is more prone to cancer.
Yes.
And more prone to inflammation, pain. So keep your body alkaline.
I couldn't agree more. That's 100% true. But we also hold more oxygen when we're alkaline.
Yes.
And oxygen is also an important component to all that. I also noticed that you have in there ATP.
That is true. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. I don't know whether you've ever seen a lightning bug, the tail end lights up in the dark.
Yes.
Well, that's phosphorus. That's the phosphate. And we were able to borrow the plant-derived phosphorus and make the adenosine triphosphate that keeps the factories of the human body called the mitochondria producing all sufficient energy. So that's a neat nutrition.
Yes, it is. That was excellent as well, because there seems to be some people are experiencing dysfunction with the mitochondria, and so therefore a little help in the ATP being available is certainly going to contribute to energy levels and so on. So the other thing that I thought was very interesting that you have in your product too is L-glycine. And I wanted to mention that because I think L-glycine, which is a very abundant amino acid that's in our body as well, we have a problem because of glyphosate being substituted for the glycine in the recipe for proteins being made by the body. And that substitution will not be a good thing by a long shot. So even having a little extra glycine, I think, is very beneficial as well.
Appreciate you seeing that. In the 20 amino acids, glycine is the most predominant. It'll be 30% more prevalent than all the other amino acids, and your body requires glycine to sleep good. And if you miss glycine, you're not going to sleep good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have the glyphosate substituting for it. And then another important element that you have in there that I think is very important, and that is the alpha-lipoic acid. We also have L-glutamate and cysteine as well, which protects against aging and radiation and so on. But lipoic acid, I think, is really a very important one as well for helping to prevent things like diabetes.
Diabetes, inflammation, neuropathy in a diabetic is always caused by alpha-lipoic deficiency. And if you're on the label, you'll notice we use the R formulation of the alpha-lipoic because it's more bioavailable, and we were able to get maximum therapeutic dose in there. And Lonacera Longevity, though it's made for everybody, the person that's going to be most benefited by Lonacera Longevity is anybody who is having blood sugar issues, because their body is in a lot of inflammatory processes. And Gail, on each and every dose of Lonacera Longevity, Dr. Charlie is assuring you that you're going to get in excess of 1,000 milligrams of glutathione 1,000 milligrams every dose. And most glutathione products are 100 milligrams, 200 milligrams, but nobody wants to enter into the therapeutic levels that were being researched and showing to be the necessary milligram. And we put it in that one product.
That is awesome. And that is the longevity product, which is foundational, I think. Well, at this point, I'd like to bring in Cheryl and Lori, because I think they have testimony that they could offer in support of these products as well. So, Cheryl, are you there?
Hey there.
Hi.
Hi.
Cheryl, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here and what you have to say about this product, because you have used it, and Dr. Rouse and I just went over a number of, I think, very important points about the product. And,
oh, yeah. Well, and we forgot to mention the, it's called Lonicera cerulea. It's the Haskap berry that the Japanese, I think, were taking. It's the berry of long life.
Longevity, yeah.
That's also in the longevity. Mm-hmm. So I met Lori at a farmer's market. I'm an artist. I'm not a diabetic that I know of, but I didn't have much feeling in my feet. She gave me a couple capsules. I took one that day at the park. All of a sudden, I felt calm. I went, hello, what's that? And then after a couple days, I called her right back. It started working right away on me. I could feel the bottom of my feet again. I felt calmer. I wasn't anxious. I didn't get up. I just didn't have any anxiety. I've upgraded and gotten the Tranquility too. I've got everything. I've got the lift. So I take the lift in the morning with, I'm taking 2 of the longevity and Tranquility at night. And I get deeper sleep and dreaming and the relief. And I can tell you another thing. It could have been with my body. I had bad mercury poisoning years ago. And then I had gone and had some dental work done about 8 months prior to meeting Lori and finding these products. And I think I have like nerve issues because I had metal in my mouth. So toxic. Even though I'm into health foods and I had a health food cafe in the 80s and I try to eat well and all of that, I still didn't have the energy. I had some of that fibromyalgia stuff that I wake up, I'm tired, or no, get up and go. So this has been great for me. Also, my son, who is grown, and he's got like a little bit of bipolar and the ADHD. And since I've spoken to him, he's an artist and he's doing his own thing and he's in another state, but he has gotten much more. He's taking the longevity as the foundation, a lift in the morning. And he had asked me for chamomile tea because he was raised with natural medicine. I owned health food cafes. And so he wanted chamomile tea. And I said, well, this is like drinking 10 cups of chamomile tea. And you can take one in the daytime. It won't make you groggy. You can take one at night. If you get stressed out or something, you can take this. My friends have talked to him and said he's so more, like he doesn't go off on these, tangents talking about all kinds of things. He's
more focused. Yeah.
Right. And my 11-year-old dog, Minnie, let me get her. Oh my goodness. Okay. Minnie, who's 11, she had, she's taken little doses of the longevity in her, I don't think it's good for cats, but she's getting into dog food, and she tries to drag me on her leash, and she's 11. She's good.
Well, we didn't talk very much about the Tranquility, and we might have to cover that some more at another time, because I think that's very interesting how it could actually help with blood pressure and so on. But let's bring Lori in too. Lori, are you there? There she
Hi,
is.
Gail, I'm here. How are you?
It's great. This is a wonderful conversation that we're having with Dr. Rouse and with Cheryl, and now you have some very unique experiences as well. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what your experiences have been, because I think some of yours are very critical as well.
Oh, thank you, Gail. Well, I was actually told about this from Randy Anderson, who's our Chief Operations Officer, and he knew about the Lana berry and had worked very hard behind the scenes to make this come to life. And he has known Dr. Rouse for 15 years and knew exactly that he wanted him to be the one to formulate this. And he said, well, you need both forms of glutathione, cellular and molecular. So it was really got involved in this formation of the company, and we were connected to Andrew Reinhardt, who was our CEO, and he gave Dr. Rouse an open pocketbook to make sure that everything was clean and no junk. And he did his magic, and you already touched on so many of the amazing ingredients in this product.
Yes, they are amazing.
And for myself, I have two boys on the autism spectrum. They're both teens now. One is 16, the other is 14 and a half, and my oldest is mainstream since kindergarten, but my youngest has been my mission to really recover. And when I first brought this in, I was seeing more speech, more cognition, less impulsivity. He was a massive runner. I had to have a harness for him. It was that bad. And even at therapy, they're like, what are you doing? And he met all his goals for ABA therapy. He graduated. I've had no therapy since November of 2019. And this started shipping October 1st of 2019. And I'm blessed to be a founder with the company. Nancy Gillen, who is also my support, has 2 adult children on the autism spectrum. She runs a nonprofit in Philadelphia to help them. And she's seen remarkable differences for her children. But bringing in longevity, it's just knocked it out of the park. And I'm also part of the Thinking Moms Revolution. I'm a co-author of this book. It's called Evolution of a Revolution, Autism and the Path from Hope to Healing. So it's 30 chapters of how we've recovered our kids or in process of recovering our kids. This came out after I wrote my chapter, and this by far, you name it, has just, like I said, knocked it out of the park. And then I brought in the Lift capsules for them, and which is brain nutrients. And they both have A's and B's in school. My oldest son was struggling with high school algebra, and all of a sudden he's like, Mom, I got a 90, I got 100. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. And then I just realized I brought this in. I have a practitioner who does acupuncture, Chinese medicine. I've been with her over 10 years. Before I even started it, I ran this by her. She was so impressed. And she said, Lori, that berry is going to be very powerful. And she actually gets the lift from me for her daughter in college to keep her focused, which speaks volumes.
It does focus you. It's no doubt in my mind about that. Because I've always considered myself a little ADD, and so I really do feel that tremendous help in that regard.
No desire for coffee since I've been on Lyft. And just to tell you a little about my personal journey with these products, I have Hashimoto's, and I was on a thyroid medication, and it was making me gain a lot of weight. And I have a great endocrine doctor here that runs the entire diabetes and endocrine center here in Orlando, Florida. And I stopped it, and I started doing 4 longevity a day along with the diet program, and my labs were improving. And I was very straightforward about this, why I stopped it. And I told him on December 24th of 2019, I told him that Randy Anderson would be here in Orlando in a month, and he personally met with us for an hour. And he also spoke with Dr. Rouse as well over the phone. So each time I check in with him, my labs have improved. I've lost 68 pounds in less than a year. My T3, my T4, they're all normal. He said to me, Lori, you're healing your thyroid. Stay on it. So he's impressed. And that's why, longevity, I'll never be without this, because of what it's done for me. It's given me my life back and my boys. And I've been able to get back into my career with real estate because of this too. So I'm very thankful to be with this company and to have met Cheryl and to know you, Gail, and that you understand what we have here. It's like this is the best kept secret that nobody knows about. And I just want to shout this from the rooftops, because especially for the autism community, because that's where my heart is, and I want to see our kids better. And this has just been phenomenal. So
it's absolutely awesome. And I can't thank you enough for sharing that wonderful story, because so many people have thyroid issues nowadays. I mean, it's all over the place. And the problems with ADD, ADHD, autism spectrum has just been increasing phenomenally, and we know why. And it's a darn shame. But to come up with a product, Dr. Rouse, that helps to address these issues is a godsend. It really is. And does anyone have anything else that they'd like to add to this journey?
I just want to say too, Gail, that the most heartwarming thing for me is hearing the feedback that I'm getting from my autism community. I will send out samples or full bottles, and I'm hearing things like, "Oh my gosh, was this supposed to work like right away?" And I have a friend in Tampa, and her son is a runner too, and he's not running, and he's nonverbal, and now he's starting to sing and make sounds. That is everything to me. That's what drives me. And then I share this news with Nancy Gillen and Randy Anderson and Dr. Rouse, and that's everything, and I
that is wonderful. I'm proud to be a part of this myself now, because like I said, I was impressed when I first heard it, but then as I did more research and looked into what Dr. Rouse had actually put in this formulation, I just became more and more impressed. And the glutathione, I swear, is crucial in all of this. And I'm so happy that you've done what you did, Dr. Rouse. Would you like to say anything else in that regard?
Gail of Gaia, thank you very much. And you know what? We all started, Modexus got its first push to fame with an organic farmer in Canada who raises the Lonicera berries for us. And it's a true organic. It is one of the most powerful berries on planet Earth. And we at Modexus are blessed that those organic farmers work very diligently to give us a perfect product. And it's just purple through and through. It has the power of purple. So I knew you would enjoy that, because Gail of Gaia is all about organic chemistry and natural stuff.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for that. And that's wonderful to always bring up our farmers, because where would we be without them?
Amen.
And our natural doctors.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Rouse.
And Gail, I just wanted to say we've got 70 plant trace minerals in longevity, including zinc. So this is just so important, everything that's in there, because minerals are so important with our soil.
Oh my gosh, our soils have been depleted of minerals since the 40s. There were people that were going before Congress in the 40s that were telling our farmers were reporting our minerals in our soil are gone. We don't have them. And so, very important minerals. And that's like Dr. Rouse said earlier, the firing mechanisms in our metabolism requires them. It's very important.
It's exciting. We also have, not only the Lonicera berry, that's 25 times the antioxidants in a blueberry, but we have the maki berry as well. And we have a friend in Sarasota that wasn't able to drive at night, and now she's able to drive at night because she had halos. So
I think it's helping with my eyesight too. Just saying. And now it's about a month. So I'm still wearing
you know what? I might be able to say that. I don't want to, overstretch my bounds, but I feel like there's truth in that as well for myself. So
yeah,
this is amazing. There are some super nutrients in these products, and they can really, really help people. And I can't thank you enough, Dr. Rouse, for sharing your very important knowledge and ability to combine things and find the best of the best that you were able to put in this product. So thank you for that.
I'm grateful. Thank you, Dr. Rouse.
Yeah, I'm very thankful, Dr. Rouse, for giving us our life back. I can't thank you enough, and for what you're doing for the autism community. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you.
Keep up the good work, all of you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll close for now, and I want to thank everyone for their contribution to this wonderful little show that we did to introduce these products to more and more people, because they really, truly can help people. And that's what Gail of Gaia is all about. That's what Dr. Rouse is all about. That's what Cheryl is all about. And that is what Lori is all about, to help people in any way we possibly can. And I would encourage you to try these products. Thank you.
This program is not intended to treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease and should not be considered medical advice. The statements herein have not been evaluated by the FDA. The opinions expressed are those of the guests and not necessarily the opinions of Free Range, its producers, principals, or staff. Viewers are directed to consult professional sources before acting on any information presented here.